The age-old question, what if? I'm Tyler Patrick, host of the Requel Pitch podcast, or just Requel. And on this podcast, I pitch you an idea for a movie while I'm in a car driving, and I take an existing IP and basically, if you had the keys to the kingdom, what would you do? It's kind of a fun exercise just to get the brain going. Sometimes I have stuff prepared. Sometimes it's someone will say something. It's just off top of my head kind of stuff. It's kind of a fun time. But today's conversation, there was a movie that came out in the early 90s. Comedy with Jim Belushi and Michael Caine called Mr. Destiny. Simple premise. Jim Belushi's character, and I've been looking for this movie, okay, because I wanted to watch it again, believes if he had hit this baseball, if he had actually made contact and hit this baseball in a game, a championship, like Little League, minor league game, or whatever, is when he was young, that his whole life would be on a different trajectory. And I mean, it's kind of similar to like It's a Wonderful Life, you know, but the idea of something so small and insignificant completely changing your entire life. So he makes this wish, and Michael Caine's character is kind of like, quote unquote, a guardian angel, so to speak, or not, you know, whatever. And he then, you know, it comes true, and he goes back to his old house where him and his wife were, and someone else lives there. And then he goes and he has the quote unquote hot trophy wife, the job, but he starts, you know, longing for who was his wife, and seeing that his life isn't better. I mean, this is a premise we've had over and over, but it's all in the details, right? So my pitch is, I would change, looking at my life and my perspective, I have 2 wonderful children. Let's add that to our protagonist, so that he has that, all of a sudden, that loss of his kids. You start off the film with the same kind of thing. You know, he's disgruntled about it, like life, like just everything's going wrong. Problems at the house, problems at work. He doesn't have what he wants. He doesn't feel accomplished. He's he's middle-aged, and he's just right? Kids annoy the crap out of him. Okay, they're, you know, maybe one's like 14, one's like 12, okay? Right there, that cusp of changing and everything. And everything is just getting to him, and he kind of has that mindset, if I had just done this one thing, or this one thing had gone differently that night, you know, my life would have turned out so much better. You know, and the whole idea is we don't always see the blessings and the goodness in front of me. You know, and I definitely, if I made this movie, I would incorporate the song from Darius Rucker. Came out, I don't know, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know, I can't keep track of time. This, you know, it's all about if little things had gone different in his life, but thank God for all he missed, because it led him to this. And he recognizes this is the exact opposite of what our protagonist is going through. But it'd be a good song to pull off at the end of the movie, right? It's just a fun comedy. We don't make those anymore, in the sense of those films are what gets regulated to streaming. And every now and then there's a really good one. Amazon Prime has had some because they've gotten higher talent and more production value they've invested in it. So it feels more like a movie that I would have seen in theaters. But that's the problem, is some of them are just like rush, cheap. You can watch them and just see, oh, well, this was shot on a shoestring budget. There's a lot of editing errors because you have people in college or just out of college making everything. And it's just quick, disposable content. Not a film, not a movie, not cinema, content. And I miss these type of films in theaters. Just love going to the theater. But just, you know, putting that back in the same caliber of, you know, on the flip side, it's like, I'm drawing a blank. The one with Nicolas Cage on Christmas, where he goes from being the big shot, the family man, and this is kind of the opposite of that. But same premise. And I think Mr. Destiny can show that his true destiny was to be with his wife. And he does love her. And he is grateful. He misses his kids. Maybe life was great for a day or two, and he's just like living it up. But then it's like those little comforts, those little things, the special quiet moments that you share with the people that you love aren't there. Like it's sometimes my children get on my nerves and I just want a break. And then I get a break, I go out for a few hours, whatever. Then I just start missing them. Like, I hate being away from that night. I don't like going places without them. Like overnights or anything like that. I miss them. I don't like, going to bed somewhere where they're not. It's going to be hard when they grow up. But that's still some time. But I just like this concept of Mr. Destiny. So I just think we could really make just a fun, reflective. I think reflective films sometimes are what we're missing. A movie that really makes you look at and examine, like, how good you have life or whatever. Like, my wife will often tell me and say things and ask me, and I was like, I make sure that I don't take her for granted. I don't want to take her for granted. And I think about how much better she is than girls that I had liked and how their lives turned out, or someone I had dated or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm blessed and I lucked out so much. And I think sometimes we don't take the time to pause and reflect and be grateful. And I think a movie like this, where we put our character and the character gets what they want, but it's not what they need. If they have everything they want, is it really to the benefit of them? So, and I'm hoping to find Mr. Destiny, because I really like to watch it again. So far, my pursuits have not been well. But you know what? I'll just keep checking. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be on streaming somewhere or something. Because by the time this drops, it'll probably be over a year from now.